section of the training that we began some time ago. The first lecture was based on the introduction to Sinopia application, and in that training we talk about the two versions of the Sinopia. We talked about the stage version and we talked about the production version. And we said that the production version is for permanent data entry, and we also said that the stage version is for experiment or experimentation, for practices. And then we talk about how to create accounts, how to use your username and email and password to create account, how to go into your email to confirm the account creation, and then how to request for permission to create metadata, to review metadata, to enrich metadata. And then we talk about how to log in, and then we look at the various menus within the Sinopia application. So that was that. And then the second part of the training was based on searching for metadata within the Sinopia data entry editor. And we look at how you can type in a concept, a word, or a subject. We talk about how to use and. We talk about how to use or, that is pipe, a vertical pipe. We talk about how to use asterisk, and we talk about how to use different, how to filter search, and then we talk about how to filter search by various methods, and how to sort data, how to sort information or retrieve information that you retrieve when you enter a word, when you are searching for something. And we say that the essence of searching in the course of data entry is to find out if a particular information resource that you want to catalog or you want to provide its metadata has already been cataloged somewhere, sometimes by somebody, so that you don't need to catalog again. All you need to do is to link to any other information resource that you have available, and then you are good to go. Okay, now this is the third part of the training, and we are going to be talking about templates. Templates. We are going to be talking about the program for cooperative cataloging templates. And in the course of this, we'll be looking at the concept of template. We'll be looking at how to select the appropriate program for cooperative cataloging templates. We'll be talking about how to navigate through the template, and we'll be talking about how, we'll also be talking about the types of data that you can enter in Sinopia. So now, before I continue, I want to remind you of something. Whether you are using Koha Integrated Library Management System, you are using New-Gen Lib Integrated Library Management System, you are using Virtual, or any other integrated library management system that you use in the library, or that are being used in the library, all depend on templates. And I'm going to be telling you what template is all about. So now you have to think of a Sinopia resource template, or a template for short, like a recipe. Just think of a Sinopia resource template as a recipe. Just like a recipe tells you what ingredients to use, a template tells you which elements to use to catalog a particular kind of thing. It's as simple as that. And for a given class, a template specifies which properties are relevant and how to record data for those properties. I'll be showing you all these things. Just gently and slowly follow me up. A template is a metadata application profile. Get that as a point. A template is a metadata application profile. So, It's very important for every cataloger to be familiar with various kinds of templates, because it's only if you are familiar with the templates that you'll be able to create metadata and enter them appropriately. So you see, to encourage adoption of Sinopia and standardization of cataloging in Sinopia, the Program for Cooperative Cataloging, that is the PCC, has endorsed a set of Bibframe based templates for your use. So this committee, PCC, they have decided to endorse, that is to say this template is the template that you have to use as a cataloger when you are talking about linked data activity. And this set of template is a Bibframe based template. So these PCC templates, there are many templates now. I'm talking about the various type of templates that they endorse. So these PCC templates were developed based on best practices that involved from early use of Sinopia. So over time, they use different kinds of templates, and they have come to agree among themselves that some particular templates are better used for the purpose of achieving the best link data activities. So so that is what you have to note. You understand? Now, as of the publication of this talk, now this presentation I'm doing right now, the PCC templates are available on the state website. This is the website I'm going to introduce you to that we are working on. The stage website, the stage version of the Sinopia website. So, but they are not yet available in the production, version yet, because it's still under experiment. Everybody, like now, I'm training you now on how to, enter, how to create a metadata, how to enter them using Sinopia data, editor, link data editor. All are for experiment. So whatever kind of experience you gain, and whatever kind of complaint you have, it will add up to the quality of information or data that they will use in improving on the efficiency and effectiveness of the templates that will be used by all catalogers for link data activities. So now, get another point clear before I continue. Sinopia offers PCC templates for works, instances, and items for both monographs and serials, as well as templates for administrative metadata. Let me say it in a different way for you to understand. As I stated before, in the whole activity of link data operation, in the whole activity of link data entries, there are three things that you need to be aware of. There is something they call works, instances, and items. So for each of these that I mentioned, there is a particular template for them. There's a particular template for it. So Sinopia have, as we are going to be seeing now in a couple of minutes from now, Sinopia offers PCC templates for works. So there's a template for works, there are templates for instances, and there are templates for items. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And for works, instances, and items, they are part and parcel of a monograph. So if you pick a particular textbook as a monograph, that textbook has these three parts: works, instances, and items. As well as the same thing also goes for serial publications. You get it right. So each level of Bibframe model, because this work, instance, and item, they are Bibframe model. They are model that we have within the Bibframe that we have been talking about. Needs its own template, and that's what I'm saying. So if you pick a work, it needs its own template. If you want to work on instance, you need its own template. if you want to work on item, you need its own template. So, but we are going to be seeing further how we are going to be linking each model with another one, like linking works to instance, linking instance to item, linking item to instance and to work, and linking, item instance to item and then back to work. So we are going to be seeing it much later on. So now another important information that you need to be familiar with this is that the PCC Sinopia templates link to original RTA guidelines whenever possible. That is to say, the template that we are talking about, at one point in time, as you do your cataloging, as you do your data entry, it will come to a point that they will tell you, no, link to the RTA guidelines, so that you follow the guideline of the RTA when you are doing the cataloging. And then because it will give you further instructions on cataloging practices. So original RTA Toolkit links will be shown much later in this training that we are doing. I will show it to you. So as for PCC catalogers, as PCC catalogers gain experience, that is that all the catalogers, all the people that will be using PCC templates, as they continue to gain more experience with the PCC templates, additional best practices will emerge and be documented. That's what I just said. So whatever that you do will be tracked, will be documented, so that they can make reference to it and do more improvement. So at this junction now, let's jump into the Sinopia link data environment now and see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I hereby click on my browser and I'm going to type stage.sinopia.io and I'm going to press enter. So it depends on the speed of the network. Wow. Because I logged in today, my session has not expired, and that's why I do not log in again. So you can see up here, I'm already logged in. So that's how you can see what that computer here. Okay, so no problem. So the next topic now is let us see how we can find the PCC templates. So what I need to do now is to click on link data editor and I'm brought to this environment. You can see. Okay. One thing I want you to note here now is that whenever you catalog a Sinopia, you must first of all select an appropriate template. Get that out. You must first of all select an appropriate template. So Sinopia contains many templates, including the set of PCC templates. So to see only the PCC template, click on the resource templates. Now I'm going to click on the resource template. Here is the resource template here. You can see the resource template. Okay. So I'm going to click on it. Done. I've clicked on it. So now what I need to do now in the find a resource template, which is this part, now. You see where the one I've just highlighted? So there is a box behind it. I'm going to type PCC. Here is the box. In this box, you can enter ID, you can enter label, URL, URI, remark, group, and author. So now, as a cataloger, you type here PCC. So PCC, and the PCC templates have not appeared. So how do you know which templates to use? This is the next question. How do you know which templates to use? So looking at the list of templates displayed, when you search for PCC, you notice that the template names at the top of the list start with an underscore. These are the templates you wish to open. You want to open. They represent the main levels in the Bibframe model, such as underscore PCC, BF2, work monograph. Now, let's go through what I'm saying. So you can see each one here, each line here is a template that represent either a work for an instance, an item, for monograph or for serial publication, etc., etc. Now we are going to be concentrating on work monograph, the one I just highlighted. Can you see? Let me show it to you. So I'm going to concentrate. I'm going to start. You should look as a cataloger. When you pick a book, there is always a point to start with. You know, when you want to catalog, when you want to provide the bibliographic information about an information resource, there is always a point to start from. So, and you have to start with link data. Within the link data environment, using Sinopia editor, you're advised to start with this work for monograph. So even if you are going to even do that for maybe something like serial publication, also start with work. So from work you move down to instance, from instance you move down to item. Does that make sense to you? So now that I'm going to use these works, I now navigate to the right to this place. And I'm going to click on this sign that you see, plus. So I'm going to click on it. I have clicked on it. And let's see what will happen. Wow. You can see at the top here that you see PCC Bibframe work monograph. It has opened. And there are a series of things to look at here. So the Sinopia shows you a lot of details, and from here you can start doing your work. But remember, at this point, the data will be entered on the right, whereas all the items on the left point to the particular field that you are going to be working on. So now let me take you through let me navigate you through the templates, the editor tabs. So when you click on a particular template, as I did now, from the resource template, Sinopia will open a template for cataloging in an editor tab. So what you are seeing here to the right here is the editor environment. So in the editor tab, the template you selected is open as a form. So anything you are seeing on this part is a form which you are going to be filling. Remember, for those of you that are familiar with maybe new GenLib integrated library management system, and some of you that are also conversant with COFA integrated library management system, or any other integrated library management system, you find out that you are working with a form. The form contains series of fields, and in each field that represents a particular kind, a particular level, you enter the right information, or the right data. I hope you are following. So, before I start doing anything to the right here, let me show you how all these items to the left work. The left side shows an overview of the template and gives you a quick way to move from one section to the other. And that is what this part does. So for example now, if I click on title, it takes me to the title. Can you see? So if I click on maybe something like note, it flicks me back to the note. Can you see? And so on and so forth. If I click on maybe a supplementary content, it takes me to the supplementary content. So the item on the left, the left section here, guides you as to the menu and sub-menu that you can work with. I hope you are following me. So if I click on the contribution here, it takes me to the contribution. That is the creator or the contributors to the book, to the information resource. And that is the beauty and the flexibility that is associated with the Sinopia link data editor. I hope you are following. So whatever that you do on the left, whatever that you click on the left, it shows you the corresponding form specific to the item or the menu that you just click. And that is the beauty of this web-based application. So now the next thing that you need to learn about now is I want to show you something. Before we start talking about how to enter data or metadata into this suite, I want to show you this small icon here. Can you see? Let me zoom out. Wow. You see this icon that has an arrow and point to it up. Whenever you click it, it's taking you to an RTA Toolkit. So this thing is RTA Toolkit link. So I'm going to click on it, and then we see how it will take us to the RTA environment. And then, but I'll still close the tab and come back here for us to continue with what we are doing. So let me click. I click now. A new tab is opening. Just watch. That depends on the speed of your network. Holala. Can you see? This is a resource description and access toolkit. Wherever you see the RTA toolkit link and you click, it will take you to the specific part for which the information is required. And that is the beauty of it. So I'm going to close this tab and go back to where we are coming from. All right. So you can see many of them around. You can see another one under the contribution, under the primary contribution. Now, another beautiful thing I want to tell you again before we start talking about data entry is the big asterisk here. The big asterisk here shows you that whatever form field you see under that place, this point, is compulsory, is mandatory. You must provide a metadata or a data or information required before you can continue, before you can save. So, and there are few of them here. For example, title information, if you are providing a metadata about any information resource, you must provide a title. That is not something you can bargain with. So by the time as you scroll up now, you will see some of them again. Let me scroll up and see whether I can see another one. Can you see? Can you see another one here? And you can see two of them being closed here. You can see a RTA Toolkit link, and you can see content type. You must provide a content type. So that is an important thing that you need to understand. So as I was telling you, that is it. So you see RTA Toolkit links, and then you also how do I call it? you see other parts that are compulsory that are mandatory for you to fill. So now let me tell you something that you have to know. The reason why you have templates and then you have sub-templates. I told you, basically, if you are talking about templates for monograph, you have templates for work, you have templates for instance, and you have template for item. But again, under work, there are some data that you need to provide, and there might not be a space for just that field, for a particular field. So they have to create room for a sub-template. Like in Kohana or in New Genlib, if you are entering data and you have some information or some data that you don't have a field for it, you create a new field and then you enter so that all the field can stay together and provide a unified metadata or information. Now let me tell you something. So a flat list of fields cannot express everything you want to express in linked data. And that is the example I just gave to you now. So for example, look at it. A work has a contributor. Is that true? Fine. Now, the contributor has a role. That's also okay. If the work has more than one contributor, a flat list of fields cannot express which role goes with which contributor. So this type of situation is handled by embedding a smaller template so that you end up with a set of fields that stays together and work as a unit. So we'll be practicing that as soon as possible. Now, all this background information I'm giving to you will help you to understand the linked data environment, and you'll be able to appreciate the work of Sinopia linked data editor. Without all this background, you may get confused, and that is what I want us to avoid. So, data entry method in Sinopia is what we are going to be talking about now. The template in Sinopia uses two basic data entry methods. Note this. Two basic data entry methods are allowed or are available in Sinopia template. And one of it is called literals. And the second one is called lookups. I'll show them to you practically in the course of time. All you need to do is to be patient with me. I just want to take you gradually so that you don't miss anything. So, if you want to enter data in literals, there are things you need to do. And if you want to enter data using lookups, there are things you need to do. For example, for literals is used to record transcribed data. And I'll tell you what is transcribed data in the course of time. Again, literals is not a machine actionable, but rather they are human readable. I'll also explain to you what that means. So now for lookups. Lookups are used to enter URIs and labels from external vocabularies. We'll talk about linking to RTA Toolkits now. We'll be talking about Bibframe much later on. And we'll be talking about other vocabularies that are necessary that will give us the right word and the right URL to use in the course of time. So, let me tell you how to expand a template in the Sinopia template that we're working on. You recognize that, for example, if you click on this add, you see how many things have come out of that add now. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Anything, the main thing we click now, that I click, will give us about 3 subsections. Now, under each one, whenever we click on anything there, we get what we call sub-template. Take, for example, agent now for a person. We have agent for corporate body. We have agent for conference. We have agent for family. We have agent for jurisdiction. And they all refer to what? The primary contribution. That's if you want to describe the contributor or the contributors. So for primary contributors, they can fall under any of these 5. But again, let's see. If I click on add name of a person, you see how a form is given to me to add, to enter information that I want. You understand? Each and every one of them can do the same thing. So, but I'll just delete them now for now because we have not started doing anything data entry now. So so if you come to the contributor, add contributor, the other we'll mention it as primary contribution. This one is contribution, and then I can click on add a person, and I can enter something here. So this is how to recognize or to expand a template. So by clicking on the add, by the time you click on this add, whenever you see the word add, that means that you can expand the template. So that is very, very important. So there are sometimes you see a multiple level of sub-templates. So now, as we keep on entering, we keep on expanding, you find out that you are being given a space where you can type in something. Does that make sense to you? All right. So you can use a template more than one time, and that is the beauty of all these things. So you can click on add another. It will show you. We have contribution here. So if I click on the add another, you have contribution here, you have another contribution here, and you can keep on expanding. If I click, it will give me another third one. You see? So, and under each anyone, you can click to see whatever that you want to add. We'll be talking about the practical entry much later on, so I don't want to waste most of your time here. So at this junction, I like to thank you for listening, and you have seen how add another give us room to create fields and additional fields, and again. That is to say, within a particular template where we have a form, we can create multiple forms, we can create multiple sub-templates, and that is the beauty of Sinopia link data editor. Thank you for listening, and God bless you. The next part will be very, very interesting, so keep on waiting, and then whenever I upload that, you just rush into it and watch the video again, and then gradually I know you are going to be very, very, very perfect in metadata entry. So by the time we're going to be talking about moving away from Mark now to link data environment, you are just going to be performing wonderfully. Thank you, and God bless you, and bye bye until the next round of video comes again.